To track in the week. On Monday, President Bola Tinubu explained why his administration established the 200 billion naira intervention fund to support micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs and manufacturers, saying it became necessary to assist them in boosting competitiveness and addressing structural challenges. He said beyond the GDP growth of 4.23% recorded in September 2025, the economic reforms spearheaded by his administration have started yielding tangible results across sectors, surpassing projections from multilateral agencies and indigenous economic experts. Represented at the summit by his Deputy Vice President Kashim Shettima, the President maintains that all decisions taken by his administration has been guided by the pursuit of balance between economic logic and public expectation, stating why the administration established the 200 billion naira intervention fund to support MSMEs and manufacturers. President Tinubu restated his administration's resolve to rekindle hope for poor, vulnerable and jobless Nigerians by creating corridors for them, especially the youth, to access loans, grants and equity investment. Also on Monday, the Inter-Party Advisory Council (IPAC) called for the scrapping of State Independent Electoral Commission (SIECs) and the transfer of local government election to Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to ensure credible polls and strengthen local autonomy. Speaking at the consultative meeting of the House Committee on Constitution Review with political party leaders in Abuja, IPAC Deputy Chairman Dikwa Olayoko, who represented the National Chairman Dr. Yusuf Dantale, also advocated removing the executive power to appoint INEC officials. He proposed the establishment of an independent appointment committee comprising representatives of political parties, civil society organizations, the judiciary and National Assembly. Other IPAC proposals include restoring public funding for political parties, establishing an electoral offences commission, and allowing parties to replace legislators who defect or die without costly by-elections. On Tuesday, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, stepped down from his position, marking the end of his tenure at the helm of Nigeria's electoral body. Although his second 5-year term is set to officially expire in November 2025, Professor Yakubu handed over leadership responsibilities. In the interim, National Commissioner May Agbamuche Umbo resumed the role of acting chairman. A legal practitioner by training, she also heads the Commission's Legal Services, Clearance and Complaint Committee. Professor Yakubu announced his departure during a meeting with resident electoral commissioners. He reminded stakeholders that his exit follows constitutional term limits. He had previously completed a first term in 2020 before being renominated and confirmed for a second. Also on Tuesday, less than 24 hours after the Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASUU) indicated its readiness to proceed with its planned nationwide strike built for next week, the federal government reconstituted and inaugurated the Mahmoud Yahya Ahmed Federal Government Tertiary Institutions Expanded Negotiation Committee to accelerate ongoing discussions with academic and non-academic unions across universities, polytechnics and colleges of education. This was disclosed in a statement issued by Director of Press and Public Relations at the Federal Ministry of Education. The statement revealed that the new committee will hold this inaugural meeting on Tuesday, 7 October at 2 p.m. It quoted the Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tuji Alausa, as saying that the new committee was designed to harmonize all negotiation processes under one coordinated framework that reflects institutional memory and sector-wide inclusiveness. On Wednesday, the federal government appealed to the Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASUU) to suspend its planned nationwide strike, assuring that efforts are underway to address the union's concerns. It also disclosed that the reconstituted Mahmoud Yahya Ahmed Expanded Negotiation Committee will meet with the aggrieved union soon to respond to lingering issues. Correspondent Kunle Ojo reported that the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, who made this known at a press conference in Abuja, stated that President Bola Tinubu directed that every effort must be made to avert the planned industrial action. A review that people at the highest level of government have been working several hours intensely to get a robust but affordable response back to the trade unions, adding that the issue at stake have existed for 10 to 15 years, but the President president has given the political will to resolve them once and for all. Still on Wednesday, the Adamawa State chapter of the African Democratic Congress asked former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Secretary to Government of the Federation Babachir Lawal, and others to formally register with the party rather than attempting to influence its affairs from outside. The chairman of the party in Adamawa State, Comrade Shehu Yohana, made the statement in Yola during a town hall meeting aimed at strengthening internal party structures. On Thursday, the National Council of State unanimously approved the appointment of Professor Joash Ojo Amokwiton-San as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. This was contained in a statement released by the President's aide, Bayo Onanuga. President Bola Tinubu presented Amokwiton's name to the council during its meeting at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The appointment follows the exit of Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, who completed his 10-year tenure in October 2025. Tinubu told the council that Amokwiton, a 58-year-old professor of law from Kogi State, is the first person from the North Central states to be nominated for the position. Council members reportedly gave unanimous support to the nomination, with Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo describing Amokwiton as a man of integrity. Still on Thursday, leaders and members of the Senior Staff Association of Universities and Non-Academic Staff Union faulted the claim by the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, that 80% of the demands have been met by government. Speaking during a peaceful protest at University of Abuja, the union said there is no going back on the demands. True to their promise, members of the Senior Staff Association of Universities and NASU staged peaceful protests to press on their demands across campuses nationwide. At the University of Abuja, members of both unions, with placards of various inscriptions, converged on the entrance of the institution, where they accused the Minister of Education of playing to the gallery, with the statement credited to him that 80% of the union's demands have been met. On Friday, an Oyo State High Court 5 sitting in Ibadan on Friday extended ruling on applications filed by the United Bank for Africa PLC and other defendants in the suit instituted by the Attorney General of Osun State and one other person as claimants due next Tuesday. The application before the court include one filed by UBA seeking an adjournment indefinitely and another challenging the court's jurisdiction filed by counsel to the Staff All Progressive Congress local government chairman by the senior advocate of Nigeria, Kazim Badamasi. Some other parties, including the SACT APC chairman and the PDP, also filed the application seeking to be joined in the suit. The UBA, while seeking the case to be adjourned indefinitely, said the local government funds in contention were still in its safe custody and untouched by any party. Presiding Judge Akintola said the ruling date was set after due consultations with all parties to allow sufficient time for a well-considered ruling on the various applications. Lastly, on Friday, the Speaker of House of Representatives, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, charged the ADA Committee on the mismanagement of oil spill cleanup funds to thoroughly investigate the causes of mismanagement surrounding funds allocated to cleanup projects in the Niger Delta. Speaking at the inauguration of the committee, the Speaker, represented by the House Whip, Honorable Usman Kumo, said the investigation must uncover the factors responsible for the poor handling of the cleanup process. He stressed the need to examine how the funds were utilized, assess the competence of those appointed to manage the project, and determine whether there was accountability in the entire process. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Okolumpom Ete, described the assignment as a crucial step towards promoting accountability, transparency, and environmental justice for the Niger Delta. And that's it on Tracking the Week.